Okay, so we are at the end of it, right? And we need to do the remove functions in both array bag and linked list bag. Now I'm gonna draw them out, and you're gonna have to code them. But I think at this point you should know enough to be able to see the picture and code it. Okay, and if I'm wrong, just hit me up, all right? Let's come talk about it, and we'll work through it together, okay? Because there are some details here, but they shouldn't be too crazy. So if you're spending hours trying to do this, do not do that, okay? If you spend 30 minutes trying to do it in array bag or linked list bag and it's just not working for you, come talk to me and let's walk through it, okay? But let's talk about this and what needs to happen in each case, because I think the picture will make it abundantly clear. So in one of these cases, let's look at the array. And the array is actually pretty simple, okay? We're going to remove values, okay? And so let's say the trick with the array, the partially filled array, is let's say we have 34, 22, 16, and 8, okay? And you want to remove a random value. Well, the easiest value to remove is the last one, right? So you can remove the value, all right, at count minus 1, okay? So think about this. Count right now is 4. That means the final value is 3, right? So you could return the value at count minus 1, okay? Or another way to say this is you have to do two things, right? One is you have to decrement count, because the new count's going to be 3, and then you can return the value at 3, okay? Now the only time this won't work is if count equals 0. So if count equals 0, you have to figure something out. Maybe you just return -1 or something to specify that that's not a good value, okay? And I'll let you decide that. Or maybe -500 or something like that, okay? Some value that you never think will happen. And that's totally fine. You can decide on that specification, okay? So that's how remove's gonna work in just regular remove. So that's the one where we don't give a target, okay? So that's remove. That's the easiest way. You could also take it out of here, and we'll talk about that with remove target. Now, I'm gonna give you, if you wanna try to figure out the witty solution to this, you can pause the video. I'll give it to you. All the C+ players out there know what the cool way to do this is, which is, so one thing people will try to do is try to shift all of these over. So we're going to remove 22, okay, and try to shift all of these over. But instead of shifting them, the cool trick, since it's unordered, is to take the last one and put it in there. Okay, so take the one that's at count -1 or whatever, or -1 from count, and then take this and put it there, right? And then you're still going to make sure that count is going to be equal to 3, right? So maybe you decrement count first, and that will make it the final index, okay? Drawing these pictures, the important part is drawing these pictures and reasoning it out. It's not memorizing how, oh, in this case I do what's count going to be and what's not going to be and how I'm going to make it happen. Draw the picture out and say, what is count right now? And what do I need to return? And what does count have to be at the end? And then make sure all of those things happen in that. So that's how we do remove and remove target. Linked list is going to be a little more interesting. If you want to remove in linked list, right, the easiest place to remove is the head, right? This is also the easiest place to insert, if you remember, right? So we could set something to, we could do something like this, right? And then head could jump A to B. How do you do that? Well, I'll let you figure that out, right? But you're kind of, it had something to do with that, right? And then current is pointing to A still, and you can return the value held at node A, which is the data of A. Okay, so that's remove. That's regular old remove, and then remove with a target. Okay, that one's a little more interesting. Okay, because oh, I guess you don't. You return true or false here, right? We never return the value. We just return true or false, right? And so, but here, remove. Oh no, you return the value here. And remove target, you return true or false. Sorry about that. So remove target returns true or false. Remove, you want to actually return the value that you removed. Okay. So you better save whatever is getting removed, like 8 in this case, to a temp variable, right? Okay, so the final thing here is how do we remove a target? So let's say we have A and B and C, and B has the data we want to remove, okay? So we go through and we grab the first one, right? We grab the target and we're gonna remove it from this. And we're only gonna remove one of the target, okay? So we don't have to remove all of the target, just one of the target, okay? If you wanna do it to remove all of the target, there's an easy way to do this because this is returning a Boolean, and we can talk about that next time in class. So good, all right, so head is pointing to A, and we want to remove B here, right? And so current's going to go through, and at this point, what we need is current's going to say, oh, okay, this is the node we want to remove. But the issue is that, well, to remove this, we need to jump A to C, okay? Just similar like we did this. And how do we do that? Well, we need to have something pointing to the previous one. Okay, so we need a previous and a current. And if you remember back to the beginning of this lecture, we walked through how to do that. So if you have an issue with that, go back to the beginning of the lecture and see how we do that, because it should help clear this up, okay? Those are the final 2 things you have to do for both of these, and then test everything, right? So you have to write the code to test everything in main. Now, if you have in setup, if you have issues with any of this, the writing of the functions or the testing of this or anything else, it's on you to come talk to me. Okay, so that onus is on you. All right. Other than that, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was kind of fun. You could try stuff out and then see how I did it, right? And see, if it's right or not, and do some things. And really get a hang of linked lists, which isn't that hard, and arrays, which aren't that hard, right? I think everyone just needs to, it needs to become second nature when you see an array. Okay, how do I cycle through it? What am I looking for? When I see a linked list, okay, how do I cycle through it? And how do I get the values out of it? Okay, and if you know that, you'll be well on your way. And this is the most complicated part of a linked list. If you're doing if you're doing the previous pointer, and it's not even that hard, right? You're just kind of doing that, right? So if you can nail this, you've mastered the linked list. We're well on our way to making quick work of this data structures class. All right, see you next lecture.